Welcome to Barely Onside with Johnny G, back for another season. As you can see, it's just me. I'm flying solo, and the plan this season is to do post-game analysis after every single game of the season. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be a lot of work, but it's something I'm passionate about, as you guys know. So I'm really excited to get this going. So let's just dive right into it. The Montreal Canadiens against the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight. 5-2 was the score. Not what we were hoping for. That's for sure. Obviously, 5-2 does not tell the story. It was 3-2 late in the third period. Actually, it was 2-2. I think it was about 10 minutes left in the game where Toronto scored to make it 3-2. They went on to add two empty netters to make it 5-2. So it's not as bad as it looks on the score sheet. Am I happy that they lost? No. But I do think the Montreal Canadiens actually played a really good game. The first line I thought was buzzing. They were buzzing all night long. Yuri Slafkovsky, Nick Suzuki, Cole Caulfield. I thought they played a hell of a game. They ended up a -3 on the night, all three of them. But I'm pretty sure they're on the ice for both empty net goals. So really, they were a -1. But that's okay. It's game one of the regular season. So I'm not going to get too low about this game. There was a lot of things that I liked. Zachary Bolduc scored his first goal as a Montreal Canadian. That was pretty exciting. And to be honest, I love the kid. I think this kid is a special, special player. We have to remember he's 22 years old. 22. That is so young. Last season, 19 goals. He's got one already on pace for 82. I'm joking, of course. But this kid has a lot to offer. He's big, he's mean, he hits hard. He had a couple of big hits tonight, scored the goal, obviously. A lot to like from Zachary Bolduc. And this kid's only going to get better. St. Louis, I know they were looking for a right shot defenseman, big boy, Logan Mailloux. Good hockey player. You know, a lot of offensive upside, a lot of flaws in his defensive game. So maybe he works out in St. Louis, maybe he doesn't. But the fact that we got Zachary Bolduc for Logan Mailloux, especially with the backstory of Logan, you know what I mean? Obviously, it was a little more quiet in terms of bringing that kind of stuff up. You know, he did the work, and you know, he's been drafted for a few years, so it's gotten quiet on that front. But you know, that's always going to linger with him. And I'm not going to repeat, you know, the situation, but I think we all know by now. But the fact that the Montreal Canadiens were able to let him go and remove the team of that story, you know, of that, of just like the aura around it, right? I like him as a player. There's no question about it. Seems like a nice kid for sure. Made a huge mistake, but now he's in St. Louis, and now we got Zachary Bolduc, and I absolutely love him. He may be maybe one of my new favorite players. There's no question about it. This guy has what it takes to succeed in the NHL. He's got it all. Like the little move that he made, you know, he could have shot the puck right away, got it off his stick, but he slowed things down, made the move, and scored his first goal as a Hab. So that was great to see. Overall, that line, they were good. They weren't great. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that they were amazing tonight, but they played good. You know, I was pretty happy with what I saw. And we have to remember, you guys, we have to remember that this is the Toronto Maple Leafs, and as much crap as I give them, I'm hard on them because I don't like them at all. You know, they are a good team. They're a good team. They're going to be a good team this season. Hopefully not. Fingers crossed, but they probably will be. It's hard to see that with my Habs glasses. It's hard to see that they're going to be a good team, but they will be. And it's their season opener. I mean, it's our season opener. It's their home opener. It's Toronto's home opener. So, you know, in front of the fans, in front of those boring fans, you know they're going to play well, right? So I think the fact that Montreal took a tie game to 10 minutes left in the third period, they outshot them. I think they just played a better game than Toronto. Toronto was a little more opportunistic, right? And that's when you have players like Toronto has, that's going to happen, and that's fine. No big deal. No big deal. Oliver Kapanen to score a shorty, his first NHL goal. That was awesome. It was electric. It was an amazing thing to see for a young kid, being on the PK, and he's still able to do that. He was able to not only kill the penalty, but to score a shorthanded goal. Awesome. Really liked him. Now let's get to the defense because I mean, actually, before we get to the defense, let's just talk about that fourth line. Jake Evans, Josh Anderson, Patrick Laine. I know they don't want to call it a fourth line, but let's be honest, it's a fourth line. Patrick Laine, like what are we gonna say about Patrick Laine? You know what I mean? He talks the talk. He doesn't walk the walk. He's told reporters that we are going to see a new Patrick Laine, a different Patrick Laine. And he like guaranteed it. He guaranteed it. And tonight, he didn't play a great game. The one thing, though, what I'm going to say about Patrick Laine is that he needs to be on the first wave of the power play because the Montreal Canadiens power play looked okay, especially I think one of the later ones looked okay. I think they had possession for the whole 2 minutes, basically. I think it was when the first power play unit was out there for nearly 2 minutes. I like Caulfield. I like having Suzuki and Slav and Hudson and Bolduc out there for sure. I do. But we can't deny how great of a shot that Patrick Laine has. And he probably needs to spend more time on the power play, you know, because 5-on-5, he doesn't have it. It's one game. We'll see if that changes. But it wasn't a great game for Patrick Laine. And I think he'd be the first to admit it. But how many times as a player are you going to have to admit that you weren't very good? And that's the problem with Patrick Laine. Every single game, it seems like he has to acknowledge the fact that he didn't play well. And that's just the way it is. But moving on to the defense, because I don't know. The Dobson and Matheson pairing, there's a lot of good that can come out of that. And there was a lot of good tonight. But I mean, that pairing, I don't think is going to work long term. Noah Dobson. Um, Did I love his play tonight? No, I did not love his play tonight. I really didn't. Um, like were there moments of where he looked really good? Kind of, not a little bit, but not overly. But the problem with him is like I don't find the IQ there yet. You know what I mean? Like he's not making the smartest decisions with the puck. He's not reading the play at a level of a $9.5 million player. And that scares me, but it's early. So let's hope that he can get things going, get comfortable. He's learning a new system, a brand new team, a new environment, a new city. We'll give him time, but hopefully this guy is going to pan out because that's a lot of money and a lot of term for a player to be average, mediocre. Not saying he was mediocre tonight. I thought he was decent, but he wasn't great. Lane Hudson, he had his moments tonight. Was he brutal? No. But he did seem to struggle defensively. And I think we all saw that. Got out hustled. You know, he had a hard time. He did have a hard time tonight. And am I worried about it? Not overly. No, he'll adjust. He'll get it going. And like I said, there were moments in the game where he played really well. and he was on the ice a lot. So mistakes are going to happen. He's going to lose some battles, especially ones that become physical. He's not the biggest guy, as we know, but obviously we're going to have to see him play a little better, and we all know that he will. I think tomorrow in Detroit will be a lot better. Toronto again is a good team, a big, strong, physical team. And the Montreal Canadiens had a little bit of a hard time handling that tonight. But again, it's game one. It's game one. Would I have loved to see the Montreal Canadiens win tonight? Absolutely. Especially because I wanted to rub it in Toronto Maple Leafs fans' face, their faces, right? But that's not going to happen because now they're going to be all over me because I predicted the win. I called the team slow, and then they beat the Montreal Canadiens. So not a good look for me, that's for sure. But I'll own it. That's fine. I love having fun with Toronto Maple Leafs fans. It's one of my favorite things to do because as much as I love watching the Montreal Canadiens win, I love watching the Toronto Maple Leafs lose almost just as much. So I mean, the rivalry has been, a little low key for the last few years, right? And my goal is to bring the passion back between both fan bases because I just remember as a kid growing up watching Montreal, Toronto, when there's Darcy Tucker and Kovalev and Gary Roberts, Jake McCabe, all these guys, right? Francis Bouillon. That was really good hockey. That was heated, passionate hockey. And it was just the best thing to watch. A Saturday night, Montreal, Toronto, when you knew crazy things were going to happen. That's what hockey was all about to me, for me. So, I mean, I want to bring it back. Let's get it back. Let's get two teams who are really good. And we need both teams to be really good. And we need both fan bases just to get back feeling that passion, right? That passion between the two teams because we haven't really seen it. A little bit in the playoffs when we beat them in 7 games, but there was no fans. So it doesn't really count. But we have to get this rivalry going, we have to get it back. We have to get it going a little more than it already is because right now it's a little dull. But that will change as, like I said, both teams are competitive because I think that's what kind of killed the rivalry was that one team, the Montreal Canadiens, were good and the Leafs were bad for like 13 years or whatever it was. So 10 years, whatever it was, right? So let's get back there. Anyways, this is my first post game show. Okay, so was it perfect? Probably not. Is it going to get better? Yes, it will get better. So if you struggled through this, that's okay. They'll get better. And I appreciate the support. Anybody, so don't forget to subscribe, okay, to my YouTube channel. Follow me on TikTok at Barely Onside. And I think I'll end it here. But again, tomorrow, Detroit Red Wings, as long as they play like they did tonight, I am confident that we can beat the Detroit Red Wings because they are not the Toronto Maple Leafs.